Hey everybody, I'm Philip, and today I am here to watch the movie Beau is Afraid, the newest one from Ari Aster, a filmmaker that I adore, and newest one as far as newest as when this is being recorded. It came out last year, but who knows when this will see the light of day. Hopefully it will. It is hot. I have a fan over there. It's not on yet. I'm going to turn it on once the movie starts because this movie is 3 hours long. That's all I know. I know it's called Beau is Afraid. It's from Ari Aster, and it is 3 hours long. Holy shit. This is longer than some Marvel movies. This is bordering on Lars von Trier levels of indulgence, but I have faith in Ari. I'm a massive fan of his work. I think he is a phenomenal filmmaker. So we'll see if this needed to be 3 hours. It's like The Godfather. So we'll see what his vision is. And I need to stop talking because this is going to drain the battery. I'm going to have to take this in the review in parts because the phone will die before I'm able to. I hope the phone lasts through the entire movie. I will check. Without further ado, let's crack the egg on Beau is Afraid. And please don't be some social anxiety horror just that I had last night with freaking Speak No Evil. Good God. I don't know if I can take 2 of those. And it's Ari Aster. He likes to do like head squishy crap, so we'll see.
You went to a well and the water made you sick. Are you gonna go back to that specific well expecting it to be safe?
Good analogy. That's good.
Excuse me, what is that man doing?
We're trying to get him to jump.
What the fuck? What kind of weird ass dystopia is this? Like America 20 years from now. Corpses laying in the street. Sweetie, treat yourself to more than TV dinners. Oh shit. That's why you get ready the night before. Uh-oh. You can buy more floss. Dang.
What do you think I should do?
I'm sure you'll do the right thing, sweetheart.
What would be the right thing for you?
I'm sorry about your case, sweetheart. I have to go.
Wait, come on, let's fix this.
Jesus Christ.
Always, always, always.
It's guys like me Googling stuff like this. Oh!
Plenty now.
God. Oh no. This is like Joker. What's real, what's not? Can you stop painting the camera like that?
It looks like it dropped off the ceiling and it fell on a woman and it smashed her head. It's like it's evaporated.
More head stuff. Called it. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Nope. 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 Jesus Christ! God damn! Ow! 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 Ow!
He was with him when he died. Oh, that's gonna be blood.
Stay right there, Chief. Sweetie, don't touch anything.
This is so weird. We're not even an hour in. There's 2 more hours of this.
It's taken 3 days for anyone to hear from you. We'll keep an eye out for your highness's royal carriage.
I told you it was hit by a car and stabbed. God, they got a puzzle.
Red and blue.
Good lord.
Don't you need to stitch me up?
Ah, it's fine.
It's
I
fine.
need to run too, sweetie.
Oh no, he's being left alone then. With them. Stop incriminating yourself.
God, what the fuck? If you don't do it right now, I'm gonna make her pull my hair so hard that it detaches my scalp. And she'll say that you did it.
I will.
Jesus Christ.
Here. Take a picture of me and Jean.
The colors make cancer.
What about liquid shit?
Ew.
How are you feeling?
You coming, Gracie?
Oh, right there. Let's get you up.
Oh!
What is this? What?
Stop, please! You're gonna be stuck! Stop! Stop!
Fuck you!
Jesus Christ. What in the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on? Oh my god. This movie's not even halfway done yet. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Dude. Oh no.
And your potential. And you will see hers.
Hmm. Okay. Oh
You
no.
and your family will be separated. Will identify you as the beast who burned down his home and replaced his children's feet with their hands.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This is so fucking weird.
I wanted a child. He died on top of me, inside.
Jesus Christ, lady.
You've never been with anyone?
And how did you have them?
And how did you have us?
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you.
Is this an elaborate ruse by the mom?
Dad! Run!
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't care. I want Daddy.
You want Daddy too?
We don't talk about you anymore!
Hmm. That's this apartment. Huh. Huh. This feels like a Truman Show thing.
I can't believe it's you. You're the same.
Well, you're the same too, except for your body and your face.
Now say that to a woman.
Why don't you go to the bathroom? When you come back, I'll be ready.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I hate the sound of kissing so much. Is this like It Follows? So fucking weird.
You don't look especially overjoyed to see me, honey. I was dead just a minute ago. This is a miracle.
I called her being alive. Still, sorta. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
It looks like you really banged up your face. You could have a concussion.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I saw the birthmark on Martha's hands.
Good night, baby.
Good night, Martha.
And if I hear any noise, I'll break back. Baby, I would never do anything. She volunteered.
Damn.
You rejected me. Well, every other smug on the street had happy, docile babies sucking their tits dry.
Jesus.
I don't absolutely know that I have any hint of a doubt that you never from the very start intended to make that flight.
I called it being an elaborate ruse because she was mad that he wouldn't show up.
Buried and smothered until it was dead. None of it mattered.
You just faked your own death
She
to
blamed
fuck with
me
your
for
son.
everything her mother did to her.
No.
When I had you, I
Self-awareness.
promised I will never do that to him.
Ah.
Some things are for your protection, Beau, and I want you to remember that I kept this from you. Don't you get it, you stupid idiot? That wasn't a dream. That was a memory. Wait.
Ay, ay, ay. What the fuck? Oh, he's still alive, apparently.
And you took and I squeezed myself empty. But your promises are nothing but shit. Yes, I do. I hate you.
There you go. She is a fucking mean, spiteful, fucked up woman. Jesus, what a fucked up person, man.
Can you breathe? Can you breathe? Can you breathe?
You found your spine, dude.
I didn't mean to.
What the fuck is going on? Jesus, some people should not have children. Good God. Ah, dude's fucking snapped. Holy crap. There was the shot of him in the boat, in the camera.
To assess the extent of the subject's guilt. But what happens when he meets a human baker that very night? The subject did not intervene. He was afraid. Did he insist that this total stranger...
Mommy, please! Please help me, please!
She locked your brother in the attic, dude, with the penis monster. All right. Oh my God. Ari Aster, you weird bastard, you. You magnificently weird bastard, you. And I mean that with the utmost respect. I don't know what to say right now. Review coming for you in a few minutes. It's going to be a minute for me. I need to sit with this one. And yeah. All right, yeah. uh, typically with movies, I like to do a review right after the movie just to get that initial just boom. But this one, it's been about 2 hours since I just finished Beau is Afraid, and I am confused. I do like how it can be interpreted in several different ways, and I think that's what I've been having trouble with, is in a very surrealist, fantastical way. This feels like the movie Big Fish through a neurotic, schizophrenic lens. And I admire that. I do. And I'm assuming this is the point, but I think I have some issues with Beau is Afraid because there's no sense of reality. Alice falls down the rabbit hole. She isn't always in Wonderland. Dorothy goes to Oz, but she's not always in Oz. So this felt like just set piece to set piece to set piece to set piece. And I've taken more notes here. Like, these are my movie notes that I took while I was watching. These are notes that I've taken in the last couple hours while having lunch and thinking about it. My movie buddy TJ hasn't watched it. I didn't watch it with Justin, so I don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. So I just kind of sit and mull in my head what this is about. So this is knee-jerk reaction, having just watched it, just in quotations. I admire what Ari Aster was going for, but I don't know if I liked it. I love weird. I love surrealism. I love think outside the box. Give me something I haven't seen before. And he did that. This is also one where it was 3 hours long, and I felt every single minute of those 3 hours. I can't say the same about Hereditary. I can't say the same about Midsommar, which was also very long. This felt very art schoolish with a big budget. But I also, as I said, I admire what he tried to do. So I'm not trying to dump all over Ari Aster. I think he's a phenomenal filmmaker and just a beautifully brilliant, twisted mind. I may have a crush on the man. Maybe not. Who's to say? We don't know. But this one's tough. And it's not just because it's so weird and dreamlike and nightmarish. It feels like the story, the Odyssey, if it was written by Sigmund Freud. And that I admire. That I admire a lot. So if I was going to sum it up like that, it is very Big Fish-esque, but it's also, but unlike Big Fish, I didn't cry during this one. But yeah, it feels like the Odyssey if Sigmund Freud wrote it. And okay, cool. But like Joker, what I liked about it was that it was the unreliable narrator. How much of it was real, if anything, was real? Or was it seen through his point of view the entire time? That's what this felt like. This felt like an unreliable narrator. So we have a few different ways we can approach this movie. And I don't want to sound like I am being deep for the sake of being deep. Or I'm probably not saying anything anyone else hasn't already said. I imagine there have been video essays rather, on YouTube and whatnot about this movie. It lends itself to that format. I even considered taking these notes and typing out a script for only the second time ever on this channel. The first one I did was on Mulan. And just having a discussion about it. At heart, I'm not a script person. I admire people who can do it, but I'm more of a free-flowing thought person, so I'm going to do that. We can take it from the point of view that everything is happening at face value. That this is basically like a Truman Show. Even the use of water was very important, like in the Truman Show. Water was a big deal here, a very big deal. Don't take the pills without water. You needed a thing of water. You know, the boat and the animal. There's more water. I just can't think of it right now. But water was a big deal in this movie. And if we're taking everything at face value, the mom is basically Truman showing her own son. She owns the apartment building. We saw the picture of it on the wall. She's had constant surveillance on his entire life. Like the end scene was very much Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks. Great movie if you haven't seen it. All the people kept popping up. And so if we're to think that the mom is just this Monsanto drug pharmaceutical overlord that has more money than God, put a pin in that. Hope I can remember to get back to it. So everyone's an actor. It's all set up. It's all staged for the mom's tests. She's testing her son. And Beau has been living life in a constant state of, you're not good enough. And the mom's tirade at the end to him, I sacrificed all this stuff for you, and you never loved me or cared about me. Very similar to what my mom would say to me. My mom was a massive drug addict. I've talked about it before, here and there, but I don't have to go too in depth about it. But she loved, I grew up in the 80s, and unfortunately in the 80s also existed cocaine. It boomed. And unfortunately it boomed up my mom's nose a lot. But I heard those things growing up. I was 8 years old and I was told I was the son of Satan. I was the son of the devil. I vividly remember walking to the bus stop, bawling my eyes out. Because I just got told, I hate you, wish I never had you, you're the son of the devil. So I can see from that lens. And then we see people from Beau's life popping up again and again and again, here and there. If you look at that picture, the collage picture of Mona's face with all the employees, like Roger was on there, Nathan Lane was on there, Elaine obviously was on there. So are these all people, are they all actors there to control and experiment and play around with Beau's life? Then there was also the notion of the MW logo. That was her logo. It's in the beginning of the film. She's like, it's a production company. It's shown at the end. This logo of Mona's bookends the movie, as if this whole movie was made by her. And taking that pin out of the God idea, there's the notion that mother is God in the eyes of a child. This takes that idea literally. Mona is literally God in this world. People do her bidding, and no matter what she asks of them, they do it. So Mona is this God figure, almost literally, possibly literally, in this universe. And you have the notion of Beau being a twin, which obviously there's all that. This is the problem I have with the movie a little bit. It's like there's so much metaphor and so much symbolism. It's almost too much. Like it almost over symbolizes everything. Beau is sexually repressed because he's been told he can't. That's why his testicles are descended. He's afraid to have an orgasm because he's told he'll die if he does. Is it true? Probably not. But it's another way his mom is controlling him to see if he does. If he does it, you didn't listen to me. You failed me again. You never listen to what I say because you don't love me. That kind of thing. Stuff I've heard before, and hopefully you haven't. But unfortunately, a lot of us have had crazy messed up parents. Well, my dad was great. I think this leads to another way we can see the movie. If we're not taking it at face value that Mona is the end-all be-all, she is orchestrating everything. If we're not taking it literally, that all these people work for her, no matter where he wanders, he's stuck in her vortex, no matter what. He can't escape her. That in itself is symbolism for what he's going through. But if we look at it from what I said earlier about the Joker, the unreliable narrator, Beau, are we simply seeing the movie through the viewpoint of a paranoid, schizophrenic, agoraphobic man? I suffered from really bad agoraphobia. I picked up during the pandemic. when we couldn't go outside. I didn't go outside. I didn't go outside for about 3 years. And the first few times were tough, really tough. I can see it from that standpoint. Like, if you are afraid of the public, afraid of people, everyone's going to be watching you. You're going to be the center of attention to everyone else. And you don't want to be. You don't want to be, but you are. And there's nothing you can do about it. And every interaction is going to be scary. Leaving is going to be scary. Going to buy some water is going to be scary. Running to your door to get inside before the tattooed man attacks you is going to be scary. So if you look at it from that point of view, everything we're seeing isn't really happening the way it's actually happening. Okay. I started to wonder, maybe, and this would be super cliche, but maybe Beau is actually in a mental institution and everyone we're seeing are just doctors or nurses and all that stuff. Maybe that that's also what I thought about Joker as well, in parts. So there's it's the easy explanation, but it also could be plausible. So you have this notion of being hyper aware, and to the point that reality isn't reality. And there's the whole philosophical notion of what reality is reality, because my reality is different than your reality, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Are we taking this at face value that Mona is God? Mona runs everything. Or are we taking it that there is a grounded reality somewhere, Beau just doesn't live in it? Or the third option to me is it's a combination of the two. If you think back to when the therapist is talking to Beau, and he writes guilty on the piece of paper, he's already been judged by his mom. He's never good enough. Which is also funny to see these flashbacks of him and his mom growing up, because it seems like two different people, right? Like, the mom with little kid Beau is more loving and more attentive. And it did kind of borderline on some possible creepy sexual stuff. It didn't go there. It's also Ari Aster, and the dude doesn't have boundaries. But it also makes you wonder, like, is there actually subtext in this movie? Because it was very blatantly just this like metaphorical fever dream, nightmarish thing. But the fact that all these people were employed by her or working for her, but then he goes to the forest and all the orphans don't have parents. So when he's without his parents, he's seeing expression. He envisions a life where he has a family and 3 children. And he loses them in a very Noah-esque way, and then finds them in the end. And is only brought back to reality when they ask him, when he says, I've never, been with a woman. And then they ask him, how were we born then? So it's more of the unreliable narrator, because he was running in his head while this actual play was going on. He was doing his own play in his head. So it wasn't one of those dream and a dream and a dream things, like in Dreamception, but Beauception. And then you have the thread line of the PTSD war veteran, soldier guy, chasing after him. And that whole thing. And then the whole thing with the family. It also makes you wonder, like, if the mom is orchestrating everything, because so much stuff wasn't explained. Like, why did his keys get stolen and his bag taken? Why did all the people from outside just go directly into the building and into his apartment specifically? No one would be unlocked unless they were herded there. Stuff like that, just, it feels like Beau was constantly set up to fail so that his mom could blame him for it. Beau's entire life is being forced to live as one big apology. He has to feel guilty for everything. If he doesn't, then mom, aka God, will make it happen and then blame him for it. Later on, she was mad at him, saying that, you lied about losing your keys in your bag. But if she is the God of the story, she made it happen. It's her fault. But spin it around. In her eyes, it's his fault. She knows he didn't lie about it. If she has surveillance all over his life, she knows damn well he didn't lie about it. But instead, plants these failure bombs for Beau to walk onto and explode in his face, and then blame him for the debris that happens. It's fascinating. This whole thing is very much like a mother's addiction to guilt tripping her son overall. So if I had to put, other than the Odyssey written by Freud, if I had to put any kind of explanation around it, because it can be interpreted so many ways. I mean, this isn't like this is kind of what makes sense to me. So hear me out. I think this is the story of Beau's entire life. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think anyone could be. But I think we are taking parts of his life and we are looking back through his eyes and how he felt in every single part. This is what it's about. This is not the definitive. This is what the movie absolutely is. Here's what I think, though, the movie represents in a way that makes sense in my head. Okay. So in the beginning, he's in his apartment in the city. That represents Beau as a child. When you're a child, everything is scary. It's chaotic. Strangers are bad. You don't know who you can trust. You need to rely on your parents, people that you can trust. But if you don't have anyone to trust, the person you can trust is just over the phone. Your childhood is going to be. It's new. You're a new person. You're a new being. You're coming into yourself. You know, you go from an infant to a little kid. You're experiencing the world for the first time through your eyes. And I think the chaos and the fear is manifested there. Then we move on to the next set piece of the house with Roger and his wife and the daughter Tony and the soldier guy. I think that part is Beau's teenage years. He's sleeping in a girl's room with K-pop posters. It's pink. I'm not saying this is like any kind of gender stuff. I'm just saying he's thrust into a teenage mindset. It looked like a teenager's room. It looked very, adolescent-y. And he's being doted on by parents trying to take care of him. Now, in this, we have very weird stuff that lends itself to it's the mom is God and controlling everything, with the wife saying, stop incriminating yourself on, the piece of paper or napkin or whatever, and it's being taped. That Truman Show idea immediately being planted in our heads. Is Beau dying? Is this his reliving his life and that kind of thing? But I think this section was Beau just, you're trying to figure yourself out. You're going from a kid through adolescence to adulthood. And that is just tough. It's tough. He's thrust into that mindset. And then I think the third part of it in the forest is adulthood. He's no longer in the embrace of parental figures. He's run off to be on his own. It's wondrous. It's new. You meet these crazy, weird new people who are also doing it too, and they're creative and they're fun. And here he talks about having a family and having children, that kind of thing. Adult things. So I think the entire forest bit was very much representative of Beau's adult life. And then the final act kind of throws a curveball into things because it goes from being very nightmarishly whimsical to grounded in a very abusive, manipulative reality. But that could be Beau in the last throes of his life, which if you take the film at face value, he was. and being forced to analyze the relationship with his mom and his father. I mean, Ari Aster, wonderfully weird as said, but I don't think any of us had like attic dick monster on our bingo cards. But it's obviously more symbolism, because if your dad's entire existence through the mouth and the idea of your mom is that he died when you were born, he died from ejaculation, he died, she said when he finished it, I mean, she was very graphic about it to her son, then cock and balls is what the father will boil down to. Not only in the eyes of the mom, but in the eyes of Beau. He was nothing more than that. Also, maybe the dad was just a big dick. And I mean that like metaphorically, obviously. Like maybe he did have a life and children, and he lost them, and he found them again in old age. And maybe his mom was domineering and his dad was an absentee dick. That could also be one way to look at it. But I think that these 4 individual set pieces, these framing areas, are very, they lend themselves to what life is like in those stages. Childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and late life, when you finally do pass away. Or it could just be a series of panic attacks from a delusional paranoid man. Who knows? But that's what I like about it. I like that you can think about it. This promotes thought. This promotes, thinking and rethinking what you just saw, and then the moments, and seeing the collage rather, of all the employees on the wall, and seeing so many people from the movie on there. And even Beau talking to his mom about Elaine, and mom like, she works for me? I guess she must. Or Elaine saying, yeah, I worked for her until last week. It's definitely thought-provoking. When it comes down to it, I have no fucking idea what it's really about. I think it was just meant to be this fantastical, psychological, nightmarish fantasy thing. Big fish, as said, but like with an Oedipus twist to it. I've read interviews with Ari where he talks about how he had a very happy and good relationship with his parents. You wouldn't think it though, would you? Like, man, this is like Mommy Issues the movie. But I like that you can see it from a different lens. Like, was it a bit self-indulgent? Yeah. Did it need to be 3 hours? I don't think so. And I said I felt all 3 of those hours. And there are so many more little details and ideas and little Easter eggy things scattered throughout. Probably stuff that I missed, because I'm not looking out for them. It wasn't until I was going back in the beginning of the movie in the credits, because I saw the MW logo and I thought, did we not see that at the beginning? And yeah, we did. Or, and this is being devil's advocate, is it just trying so hard to have so much substance that it just lacks any actual substance? Do I think so? No, but I can see how people would not like this. Because it has the illusion, the facade of depth to it. But there's no home base. There's no grounding factor. So it's like I said, it's all Wonderland. And that can work, but can it work for 3 hours? I don't know. When there's no real reality to bounce off of, how deep can something be if it's always at the same level? So it's our job then, as an audience, as the viewers, to assign depth to it. So we think, is it literal? Is it figurative? Is it any of these things that we interpret it to be? Or is it just, Ari Aster masturbating 3 hours and calling it a movie? I could see an argument for that. Do I think so? No. But I also own up to the fact that I am a massive Ari Aster fan, as said, so I have a little bit of bias. I wonder if Ari Aster hadn't made this movie, would I even like this movie? And I don't know. Would I think it was just meandering and super indulgent? Because it kind of is. But would I feel it even more that that was the dominant thing I took away from it? And not that it was a vision of someone that I really admire and respect their creative process? I don't know. If you didn't make this, would I like it? And if you liked it and you're a huge Ari Aster fan like I am, what do you think? Like, if he didn't make this, would you have still liked it? And I don't know. I can't say. I feel like there's more I could say about it. Like, there's interesting notions. You could take individual scenes and read into what's going on. Like when Tony and Beau were in Nathan's room and the paint. The paint was blue and pink. The paint in Nathan's room was blue. And Tony wrote Beau in pink on the walls. So that was very interesting. Very interesting. Like, one could say it could be a sign of gender. And obviously there is some gender aspect to it with the blue and the pink. And Beau being in pink. And Tony saying, you're trying to replace my brother. And all that. And then the fact that Mona's company was, like I said, a massive, giant, big pharma beast. Beau was in a lot of the ads in pictures on the wall, which again was more symbolism. So was he just drugged up his entire life? Is any of it real? Is it if you've been pumped full of medication your entire life, reality is going to be very different for you. But also, when staying with Roger and his wife, whose name I don't remember, they were constantly taking meds. And they treated him like, oh, here you go. And the daughter was just like eating them like candy. Was that how Mona was paying them? He said he was a surgeon. Was that true? And then even the end, that whole defending your life-esque thing where, like that scene where Roger offered to take him that night, but if he could wait until the next morning, that'd be great. And they framed it that it was Beau's decision instead of the actual reality of being coerced into making that. And also two cool things about that last scene that I liked. Well, three things actually. One, the boat capsizing was foreshadowed in the beginning with the kid playing with the boat. I like that. That's when Ari shines. It's a nice little like way to foreshadow something without being all like, it's a twist, like Shyamalan does. Like Shyamalan. A couple other things that I liked were I like how when it's a trial, like defending your life, and the prosecutor has this booming voice. He's an actor I recognize him. I can't remember his name right now. But just a good casting on him because he has that commanding voice. And he is just, booming out all these accusations. And then the defendant is way on the other side. Sounds like this. You can't hear him. You can basically hear him because he's being talked over and you can barely hear him in this huge space. Which is funny to think of if we're looking at it like from that metaphorical point of view of the mother's voice is always going to be the dominant, booming one. And then Beau trying to defend himself will always be the diminished, quiet one. And this will always overpower it. The other thing that I liked from that scene was the end when the people are getting up and the room is supposed to be a circle. And it looks like a movie theater audience, which would extend to people seen in the theater. And people are getting up slowly and leaving until everyone gets up and leaves, like at the movies. So if you're sitting in the theater, you are actually in the movie. It's just on their side of the big round arena area, they're looking at you and you are looking at them. That's fucking cool. That is fucking cool. It's shit like that I cannot just outright, say that this is bad because there's some cool stuff here. And I didn't think it was bad. I also liked how Ari handled the splitting off of Beau, where the other version of him got put to the confident, self-assured version of himself got locked away, and he was left with the cowering, quiet, complacent version of himself. And he was never allowed to be in touch with the other part of himself because it was locked away forever. in the attic with the dick monster. All in all, I said earlier that I admired it, but I don't know if I liked it, and I still kind of adhere to that. I don't know. But I just saw, a couple hours ago. I did like the imagery. I liked the symbolism. I love Ari Aster's attention to detail. And the man knows how to frame a shot. He loves him some head trauma. He loves him some creepy ass looking eyes. We saw it in Midsommar. We saw parts of it in Hereditary. We saw it here, like with Tony and the paint thing. Watching his movies, I always have to be afraid of like what head stuff we're going to see now. And you could watch the first act in the apartment, which I think is I liked the forest bit a lot because it kind of, I guess, it just appeals to my innate nature to want, like, I would want to join them, cast off the shackles of life, grab Justin, let's go to the woods and travel with this theater troupe. Awesome. We'll live in a tent. As a movie watcher, I enjoyed the first act. I enjoyed the apartment stuff. I enjoyed that was a good way to set the stage. We just never had anything to bounce off of after. We just went from odd thing to odd thing to odd thing to odd thing. And my synopsis of it, from childhood to teenage years to adulthood to, the end of your life, it could be way off. Maybe that's not the point at all. But it makes sense to me. But especially in that first part, I said the attention to detail is so good. The ads, the posters, the irony of Beau living above a porn shop. He himself is not allowed to be a sexual person, and the whole sexuality of it and sexual repression based on fear and something that happened to your father and grandfather and great-grandfather. Was it true? Didn't seem to be. Or was it another control mechanism for the mom to see if he would do it? And when he finally did it, she came back out of the shadows. Oh, I'm not dead. Which he knew because he saw the birthmark. Also, knock me over. Parker Posey, holy crap. Holy crap. I've been following her career since the 90s. Because I'm fucking old. And she, I don't like to be talk about people's looks, because who am I to talk about anybody else's looks? But she looks fucking amazing. Hats off to Parker Posey. She's got to be 50-ish now. You wouldn't think it. Holy hell. Holy hell. If only I could age like her. Health and the universe said no. On the flip side, it's also long. You feel the length. This feels like a fresh out of film school movie given to someone with a massive budget and creative freedom. And that's not always a bad thing. He had a point. He had a story he wanted to tell. I'm not here to make improvements. I'm not here to suggest anything different. I don't even know how he would bring it back to a reality to bounce it off of, because that seems to be the entire point. He doesn't want to bring it to a reality because there's no reality to bring it to. It's open to interpretation, which is what I've been doing. And that part of it I can respect. That's why I cannot say this was bad. It wasn't bad. And it's normally right up my alley, as I said in the beginning. But it's just not vibing with me. And I haven't put the pin into why yet. I will say, though, that God bless A24. Because movies like this would not get made otherwise. And he's brought them so much success that they gave him a clean slate to do it. You want to make a 3-hour masturbatory Odyssey written by Freud thing? Knock yourself out, buddy. Are we going to lose money on it? Probably. Knock yourself out. You've done so much good for us. We'll give you this. I don't know. Lord help me if there's a director's cut. It's great that A24 exists. I said a long time ago that they saved horror for me personally, because they make the kind of horror movies I like. So if you saw this, what do you think of this movie? Are you a fan of Ari Aster in general? Or did you just watch it because, I watch it because he made it. I'll watch anything he makes. But That would be interesting to hear opinions from fans of his versus people who really aren't that big of a fan of his and saw it anyway. Because as I said, if I wasn't a fan of his, would I like this? And if you were not, did you? I think that is a really interesting discussion to have. And if you did watch it, what was your favorite scene or favorite setting? I imagine the forest would win, I think, but I can see a lot of other people liking the beginning, because I like the beginning too. The house scene was very, very like, this house has people in it ish, very Adult Swim-esque, creepypasta-y, but a long ass movie kind of thing in parts, especially the part in the house with Roger and the family. Also cool to see Nathan Lane back in something. I've been a fan for a long time. Also, how did Elaine die? Like, is it... there's a lot of what in this movie. So yeah. What are your thoughts on it? Overall, and little things like that. There's obviously not like a dick monster living in an attic. So, yeah. I don't know. And then the end and the boat and all. I don't know. Yeah. Probably so much more I could just stream of consciousness talk about. But I had like, this is as close as I'll ever get to a script, y'all. So, wanted to discuss it and just do some out loud talking about it. A very strange movie from a wonderfully strange man. But let me know down below your thoughts in general on what happened. I'd love to have a conversation. That's going to wrap this one up. I need to go rest my throat. So you watched all the way to the end, thank you. And as always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I'll simply say thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then,